Ladies and gentlemen, Lydia's been a hot topic recently. Obviously, I mean, if you've been anywhere on Twitter, God help you. But in this sort of journey from Lydia becoming this hot topic, I have been making videos where I've been looking at some of the top players that have been playing Lydia, including Farzeen and Ash. And in these videos, I watched their gameplay from when they started playing Lydia. And part of what I've said, and part of the reason why I made those videos, is to demonstrate and to show you all that even the top players need to learn. No one's going to be able to pick up a character like Lydia for a day and then immediately be playing her at a top level. These things take a lot of time. Some people were quite pissed off at me watching Farzeen when he first picked up Lydia and was doing a lot of things wrong, making a lot of mistakes. And to those people, you have a lot to learn, because you're the type of person that isn't willing to learn. There has been this taboo around learning because there's this perception that if you need to learn something in Tekken, then you're bad at the game, which is just ludicrous. But I imagine this is why a lot of people have seen me looking at Farzeen and Ash playing Lydia and criticizing and critiquing their gameplay as being insulting when it couldn't be anything further from the truth. I am trying to offer my perspective as a high-level Lydia player who has found a lot of success with her and has created a lot of the techniques that people use with the character to try helping them improve in one way or another, or try to help you improve if you're picking up Lydia. And through this journey, I would be remiss if I didn't show you the sort of end result of this journey with these players playing Lydia. And here we saw Farzeen playing Lydia at top 8 at a major TWT tournament. He has been playing Lydia for a couple of months now, and Farzeen's Lydia is night and day different from how it was the last time that I looked. Well, I should say the first time that I looked at it. And so we're going to watch these games now. I haven't watched them in advance, and we're going to see just how much Farzeen's Lydia has changed and how much he's learned from the first time he's played Lydia up until now at a top 8 at a major tournament. This is going to be fun. Let's get into it. Here we go. Game 1. Farzeen playing Lydia versus Ana. This is a matchup I don't know very well. I have a lot of trouble with it. Sidestep trying the 3-2 punish that. Down forward 1, I like that as a little check. Normally here I'd be down jabbing personally, but like just being very patient there. That's one thing I've immediately noticed is the 1-2. You can hit confirm this 1-2. You can hit confirm 1-2 into 1-2. It's very difficult though. It's very difficult. But this is something I recommend like every Lydia player practice is like hit confirming that 1-2-2, because it helps a lot when you're able to do that consistently. And then yeah, while running 2, like this is beautiful. This while running 2 here. Why do we do while running 2? In case Ana sidesteps, because Lydia, if she just does forward 4-2 immediately after this, after 1-2, sidestep right, boom. That's it. It's over. So by doing the while running 1, we are realigning with the sidestep, which is fantastic. That's what we want to see. Going with the 1 here, going in the stance, going for the 4, what afterwards? Sidestep back 1. And again, this is brilliant because if Ana here, if the Ana player sidesteps right, that sidestep in the back 1 will get the back 1 to realign. That's not something we were seeing with Farzeen before when he started playing Lydia. That's beautiful. And then going into the core circle forward 4 here, the Ana with an excellent step guard here as well to be able to shut that down. And like this is part of the defense that makes core circle forward 4 a little bit of a polarizing move, because step guard is so effective against it. But in this situation, why are we doing the core circle forward 4? It's because the opponent can't sidestep it, and when Ana blocks us, look at her heat. So if we go into something here again, then we're going to drain the heat. Now, what I would probably do personally here is I would do the 3, because since she's just done the 1, we can use our own horse 1. Down jab's going to be a good option here. If we do the 3 and it gets blocked, there's only -4, so Anna's still going to have a bit of a hard time being able to use the rest of that heat. She's probably going to have to rush it, and of course, if it hits, then we get our heat engager. So that's what I would do personally. Boom. See, this is why I play. This is why I know Lydia and I play Lydia. I swear to God, I haven't watched this in advance. This is not pre-watched. But this is an important part of understanding, like, this dynamic with Lydia, right? So, we go here. It seems like Farzeen didn't do the option select there by holding back to cancel out stance. So a very important thing with Lydia, and I've made a video about this, is that when you do something like core circle forward 4, you hold back while the move is coming out, because you can block I should say hit confirm, staying in stance by letting go of the block button. But if the opponent blocks it and you want to exit stance, then you can continue holding the back button. But I assume what Farzeen is doing is he's trying to block confirm by pressing the back button to cancel stance. The problem with doing that is if you're a little bit late, then something like down jab can be a punish, even though it normally wouldn't be if you do it the other way around. So that's just a little, like, intricate thing about Lydia that you might not know if you're not explicitly told it, because it's quite weird. Like, other Tekken characters don't really work like that. But that's why Farzeen got hit with the down jab here. But, you know, like, blocking is also a pretty good option. And now, again, the Honor player has to just burn the heat. Excellent punch parry to be able to beat that. Manual horse 3 stays on the ground, which is good. But now that we've seen that from the Honor, we see again that he's canceling the stance. And again, you can see that here, trying to, I suppose, not there, but here, forward 2, and then he delays exiting the stance, which I assume is, again, because he's not holding back after the forward, or during the forward 2. He's holding back after the forward 2. And that is what's causing these situations where he's exiting the stance a bit late. So, continuing on here.
And it really complements the rest of her toolkit. Yeah,
really good stuff there. I wonder why,
down forward 1, 2. Nice down jab to be able to get out of the pressure. There's the back 1. Now down jab again. And so, important thing, like, Farzeen is playing very laid back here. But after this down jab, Lydia's plus enough where you can forward 2. And if you forward 2 here with a 1-frame link, then it beats sidestep. Now, the Honor player here hasn't been sidestepping that often, right? And I don't even know if Farzeen has been practicing the forward 2 links. But if he has been, then forward 2 can be a really good option here to beat out Honest pressure. Of course, the risk there is if she power crushes, then you're basically dead. You also have to be paying attention to the time, the heat, and that you don't have any stacks. So at this point, because your health is so low and because time's running out, you have to make a decision of how important getting that stack is for you. You can decide that, you know what, this round is probably lost. I'm going to burn my heat. I'm going to get my stack, and then I'm just going to probably lose the round, but I'll be stronger in the next round. Or you can try to gamble it and attempt to win the round, but not necessarily guarantee the stack. That's part of the decision making that's kind of going on here. That's going to make this a little bit, it's going to make it, it's a tough decision. You know, this is a big thing that is part of Lydia's kind of skill ceiling, but also the player expression is how you manage this kind of situation. Me personally here, what I would do, my main priority would be just popping heat, getting that stack. Even if the opponent throws me, like, it's fine, because I'm going to be stronger in the next round. I'm at least getting something out of that. So there's the down forward 1. And yeah, so, and this is sort of what I was getting at before. This is where your priorities kind of have to change, and this is what you have to think about, is that, like, here in this situation, we're going for the back 1. So again, this is sort of us gambling to try winning the round in spite of the stack. But if we guess wrong even one time, we get that counter hit, and now we're weaker in the future rounds. So again, this is part of that player expression. This is part of, like, the skill seeing with Lydia's making those really difficult decisions. And here, Farzeen, unfortunately, didn't, I guess correctly in that. Farzeen didn't make the best series of choices, and that's why he ended up losing the round without a stack, and now he's at a disadvantage going into the following rounds.
Really letting Farzeen have an opportunity to get his action started.
Yeah, that's the danger as well. When
So we get that.
so many jabs.
That hit there, and then forward 2, again going for the 1, and the 1 makes some sense because, again, Honor has been doing the jabs a lot, so we can 1. You have to be careful of the down jab, though, because if he down jabs again, you do that 1, then, of course, then she's going to get the launcher, but that's why Farzeen, again, has been doing the forward 2 and then blocking, because by doing the forward 2 and then blocking afterwards, we are kind of getting the Ana into this position where it's like we're goading her to hit a button, and by doing that, that's going to open up 1 again so that we can go into Wolf or just hit her out of the jabs, etc., etc. Now, another thing that Farzeen can do here that's important to think about is after the forward 2, because he's been doing the jabs and down jabs a lot. You can do the 1 here, or you can do the forward 2 here, and then you can duck under the jab and then launch Ana, right?
Take out so much damage.
Because he's only been doing the jab, the down jab. He did down 4 as well, which he does here. So if you forward 2, cancel it, and then duck, that's also an option that you have. It's going into the heat engage, and I'm just immediately burning the heat. Ana has a lot of health, so again, this is another point where you have to make a decision, like, are we going to get that stack? And we don't get it, and so now we're in to round 3, and we don't have any stacks. And again, this is why back in round 1, when we were in a similar position, that's why I would normally make the decision of, let's just use heat, let's get the stack, so that way we can be stronger in the future rounds and have more of an opportunity to be able to win there. Because now when we're going into round 3 without any stacks whatsoever,
can he continue even further, Farzeen?
Now this is it's going to make it a lot harder for us, right?
That might be a different tune here.
There's 1, 2, 2. There's that, gets the 1. Yeah, and so this is a point with the anti-Lydia as well. So we do 1, 2, 2 here. The Ana player can just sidestep right to avoid this. They try down jabbing, which is like the worst thing you can do here. It doesn't make any sense. Ana, of course, has a power crush from crouch. Power crush in this situation is really good. Only the 3 and the 2 beats it here. Sidestep avoids the 1. Down jab just doesn't do any. Like, there's no reason for it. There's no point to doing the down jab. So this forward 1 plus 2. Again, trying the jab, back 1. We saw that back 1 in the core circle, forward 4 again. Heat burst, good stuff. Ends up getting that counter hit again, though, so again, we have to be careful. And again, this is going to be a lot harder as well because we don't have stacks, because now we have less opportunities to be able to utilize our heat. So there's the down jab. And goes for the Wolf 2, and even though the Ana sidestepped here, Wolf stance realigns as long as you have the right timing. So, and again, like part of this forward 2 as well, what I was saying before, if the Ana sidesteps, as long as you do the link right, 1 frame link, we'll do that. Farzeen instead does the while running one. I presume it's because to try tracking sidestepping, but again, if you link this properly, then you don't have to. Like, you just forward 2, and then boom, you got it. And it's less risk, because if you 1 frame link it, then it beats down jabs as well. And because we're in heat, it beats power crush. It just beats everything. So again, instead of going for the stack, we go in the Wolf, do Wolf 2. What the Ana did here by sidestepping is just not, like, it doesn't make a lot of sense, because he's been doing like the 1. He's been canceling the stance and blocking, so sidestep doesn't really do a lot. If you're gonna do anything here, the best option would be to probably down jab, because he hasn't been doing the 3. If he goes into Heaven Earth, it beats that, it beats the 1, and you get launcher. And then what I would be doing here personally, and you know, trying this out for Heat Smash obviously makes a lot of sense. A couple things going on here, actually. I would manually go into Cat here and then go into Heaven Earth, because if they wake up, then I can do Heaven Earth 2 or Unblockable if I want. If they don't, then I can do so right here, go in the Cat here. I could also do Cat 4 if I want to. Heaven Earth 1 will hit them on the ground, then I get down 1 plus 2, and I get my stack, right? It's very important. So instead, we're waiting for the wake up so we can Heat Smash, so that we still get our stack. It's another way to go about it. I just personally would have done it differently, but it's good that we're thinking about that situation instead of just waiting for wake up and then like back one in the heat dash or something like that, right? We're trying to set up a safe situation so we don't blow the round, but we also get the stack, which is really smart. Core circle forward 1+2 here. After this, track sidestep in this way. We unfortunately didn't get the hit confirm on there, but we're +8. And the Ana doesn't have enough health to be able to power crush through the 2. Is down forward 1 again. Again, trying the down jab out of there. Now we just got to play neutral. That chaos judgment, though, delaying it to beat the down jab was really smart. Combo ends up dropping, and there's a nice forward 2 for the counter hit there to be able to close it out.
So close though. Casimir looking like a monster right now.
1-2-1. It's down forward 1. Yeah, run up, down, back 3, and then manually go in the wolf. And why can we manually go? Like, again, this is really smart. This is so much different than how Farzeen was playing Lydia before. And what's so smart about this is because all Ana's been doing so far is like jabbing, down jabbing, or doing nothing. And because of that, that gives us the opportunity to be able to go in the wolf now. Because it's like if they swat us out of wolf with jab or something, that's like, whatever, it's no big deal. Whereas if the Ana was doing something more like you know, a down forward 1 or power crushing or something, the risk that we're taking is a little bit more substantial, so we can't necessarily afford that. But because the Ana hasn't been doing anything, that's going to punish us really hard for going in the wolf, and because we've been setting up these situations with the horse 1 and stuff, that's what gives us the opportunity to be able to do this, and it's really smart. Thing is here, though, again, another little thing to critique. We do core circle forward 4 again to try beating like sidestep or something. If we 1-frame link forward 2, it beats sidestep, and it counter hits here with the Ana doing the while rising 4 for the float. So the like Farzeen's been playing the neutral and the mind games and everything really well. Like he has a much better understanding on the character now. But one thing that I would critique about what he's doing is thinking about the forward 2 a little bit more. He's been utilizing that core circle forward 4, I think, a little bit too much to try catching sidestep. And if he works on his forward 2 execution a bit more, then he wouldn't have to be relying on that as much. And see, there you go, the down jab again in the forward 2. That was a nice 1+2, because again, the Ana has been using the jab a lot, and then we do dash jabs into that. Not something I would do personally, because you're not getting the wall with the wall carry, but ends up working out. Now we get the float on that. And then again, the wall running 2, you can see how that realigns. And again, like this is part of that decision-making process where you have to pay attention to like how much heat you have, the health, and if you want to get that second stack or not. And this is a little bit harder because obviously if Ana wins this round, then she wins the game. So if this was like round 1 or round 2, or if the round count was switched, then yeah, absolutely go into Heaven Earth and get that second stack. But now it's a little bit harder because if Ana chooses to heat smash here, you're out of the game. You almost lose the game on the spot. So it's a lot tougher of a decision to make in this instance. If you go into Heaven Earth or not, he chooses to cancel stance, does something afterwards, and then the heat dash is going to mean that he's not going to get that second stack, which even if he wins this and goes in the final round is going to make the final round a lot harder, just because he has not been considering the stat count as much as I think he should. Now there, that 1-2-2 ended up working out beautifully. I don't think forward 1+2 is what he intended, because that move was quite bad, but it ends up working out as a mid. And now we're going in the final round, but again, because of round 1 and round 2, now it's a lot more difficult for us to be able to win this. And again, that's one thing I think is important to think about the decision making. Now, something that you notice here that he's changed up is now he's doing down back 3-3 and forward 2-3. And what's the reason for that? He hasn't used this yet in the set. So if we're threatening the 3, we can try goading him again into using the jab, and that might open us up for 1+2, because the Ana players, instead of just doing 1 jab, is doing like 1-2. And again, we get the crouch cancel there into the back 1 while running 1, doesn't try sidestepping to avoid the 2. So that's something to me immediately, yeah, doing the 2, right? Because that tells me immediately that he's not familiar enough with the matchup to be able to avoid the situation. So we kind of get that for free. That gives us a free third stack. And now we don't have heat, but now if we hit our counter hits or our combos, it's going to be a lot more devastating. Now, without there being a wall that's going to make it not as effective, but it's still going to help us a little bit there. We don't get the whiff punish off of that. Unfortunate float. He drops the combo, though, down jab while running one again, trying to change up the timing to fish out counter hit, but unfortunately, that while rising 1-2 is going to be enough to close it out. But yeah, I mean, the decision-making that was happening there in that game, the way that he was utilizing like horse stance, how he was using forward 4-2, approaching neutral, everything, so much better than the first time I saw him. So much better. And like, again, Farzeen has a really good handle on it, right? There's still stuff to learn in that regard, obviously. Again, it's because Lydia's a really difficult character. Like, I've been sitting here talking for 20 minutes about one game just off of the decision-making of whether or not you go into heaven and earth. It's complicated. There's a lot going on, but he's playing Lydia overall so much better than he was when he started out with her. And again, like, this is part of the learning process, right? And you also can't expect to just know all of this stuff immediately because, like I keep saying, it's very abstract. There's so much going on. You have to learn this stuff one thing at a time. And what's more important than that decision-making that you're making specifically with Lydia, with the stacks and heaven and earth and everything, is how to play her in neutral. And in that regard, he's been doing so much better at that. -14, excellent punish. Excellent punish. In the crouch forward 4-2, again, going for the 3, nice down jab. Run up, down back 3 because he's been doing the forward 4-2 a lot, very smart. And then trying to get the stack. And like, this is brilliant. This is what I'm talking about, right? Because even though we have more than half of our heat remaining, what's the reason why Farzeen lost the last game? It's because he didn't get those stacks. That, to me, is the #1 reason why he lost game 1, is he just wasn't powerful enough for final round, so the Ana was able to eventually catch him out. So what is he doing now? He's saying, all right, I know that he doesn't know how to deal with, like, the wild running 1 with a lot of the heat stuff, so I'm going to use up all of my heat this round. I'm just going to waste it, so I'm basically not getting heat at all, so that I get the stack. So next round I can pop heat while running 1 heaven earth 2, while running 1 heaven earth 2, or something like that. Get my 3 stacks, and now if I get anything on him, he's dead. Another important thing too, on this stage versus the last stage, is the walls. So the last stage, getting 3 stacks not as important because you don't have access to forward 3 effectively. This stage you obviously do. And so that's also a different part of the decision-making that you have to consider. Stacks become more important on this stage than they do on Yakushima. So that's another thing to consider. But yeah, we are basically wasting our heat for 2 things. The stack and the wall presence. We end up hitting the 2. That's going the wall splat. We get combo here, 73. And what do we do for Oki? Sidestep back 1. Again, not what I would do here, but it does work. Well, that's not true. I would do it. I just personally wouldn't do it in that situation. We get the 1-2-2 there again. Like that, the way we played neutral there was just so good. And you know what that came from? That came from the pushback of Heat Smash. So even though we're effectively wasting heat, that Heat Smash just has so much wall carry on block that we end up getting the follow-up.
Decisions when so much is happening so fast, they're not giving anyone.
There we go, get the counter hit at the wall, boop, boop, boop. What's the Oki going to be? Goes for the mid, gets the heat engager. That's going to be tough. And so, what would I be thinking in this situation? I need to get out of the situation, I need to pop my heat, and I need to get at least stack #2 because I'm almost certainly going to lose this round. So as long as I get my stack, I'm getting something out of this round. That's the #1 priority. It's not winning the round because the round is effectively over at this point. You just need to get that stack.
Decisions that he's making.
So there's that. Heat's gone. Tries going for the parry. Doesn't get it. And yeah. 7 golden letters from the Ana. There's the down forward, nice down forward 1. There's the down jab, very nice. Going for the 1 again and again. Like, the problem with this Ana player is he's playing into Farzeen's use of horse. And Farzeen has been using horse very well. He's used the 1+2 only once, and it was a counter hit because the Ana player is doing the jab strings. He's been using the 1 very effectively. He's been trying to catch out with the 3. And the important thing is by him using the 1 and the 3, he's been setting up the Ana with the mind game, with the interaction here to play into the other option. So he's been using the 3 to try getting him the jab so he uses the 1. He's been using the 1 to try getting him the down jab to use the 3. And if Farzeen is wrong at any of these points and the Ana player guesses correctly, then Farzeen gets launched. But the way that he's doing this, the way he's playing the mind game is making it so that he's always winning because he's not just alternating between those 2 options like it's a coin flip, like it's RPS. He's canceling the stance. He's getting in his head. He's going into Wolf. He's doing other things to elicit a reaction from him. 1 and 3 by themselves aren't going to elicit a reaction, right? Like the 3 is -4. The 1 is effectively minus because, yeah, it's +1, but the fastest move that she has is 15 frames. So Ana can just down forward 1 to interrupt everything. But by him utilizing these other options, it's forcing the Ana to interact more instead of just blocking. And that's what's creating these situations, which is just so smart. It's really well done. Now, again, I'm going to criticize the use here of course circle forward 4, because Lydia's -1 here. So again, if the Ana player understands that you can interrupt that with Lydia with like basically anything, then this would get shut down. And I think the only reason why this is working is because of the Ana player's lack of matchup knowledge. But it's also important to understand that Farzeen has recognized that this Ana doesn't know the matchup very well, and that's probably one of the biggest reasons why he's using that. Because if the Ana like down jabs after that, when they shouldn't, but we've seen Ana down jab before in situations where she shouldn't. And so if she does, then this is no consequence. Was if we do forward 4-2, then down jab would interrupt that. So that's the big difference here. Goes for the 2 instead of the 4. Makes sense. There's the down forward 1. Heat there, again down back 3, and then going for the 2 instead of going into heaven and earth. Again, that's a player expression thing. And there's the core circle forward 4 again. And with how much Farzeen's been using the core circle forward 4, I think someone more familiar with the matchup wouldn't have done that. But as it stands, you know, it's one of those things where it's like you gotta recognize sometimes when someone just isn't able to deal with this stuff, and if they can't deal with it, it's a great option. All right, let's continue on here while running 1. And so this is another thing when I'm talking about the forward 4-2 link, and this is like, again, if there's one thing, if I could convey to Farzeen what he should practice here, it's forward 4-2, because after this while running 1, linking forward 4-2 again beats sidestep. So when we've been talking about doing like the core circle forward 4 to beat sidestep, that's clearly been the case because he's doing down forward 30+4 here. But if you forward 2, as long as you have the execution for it, it beats sidestep. And of course, it beats jab and everything. So, again, if there's one thing that I think is important for Farzeen to think about in the future to improve his Lydia, it's that execution. Obviously, it's different than down forward 2 because down forward 2 clearly loses to sidestep. Right, forward 2, though, with the execution, doesn't. Also, thank you, Bum6, for that. Hi, Devil. Going for power crush there. And another important thing to know, this is -9. So with Ana having whatever it is, it might be 2 into the stance 1. Pretty risky thing to do against Ana, I'd say.
Nice little punish.
And yeah, that's important to know, -13.
A lot of fuzzy ducking from Farzeen though.
Trying the back 1 there for keep out, nice. And it looks like, remember what I said in the beginning about hit confirming the 1-2-2? It looks like Farzeen actually is doing that. It's just that first instance he didn't. Which is really impressive because this is not easy to do. So there's that again, down jab. While running 3, the realign there, like, again, beautiful stuff, right? He's clearly understood how this realignment works with the while running 1, the while running 3, the while running 2, which is really good. It's extremely important to know that with Lydia. So again, you're not relying on like the core circle 4-4 and stuff. So this is really good. And in this +6 situation, oh, sorry. And again, like there are a couple things going on here. One thing is that core circle forward 1+2 beating sidestep, you know. The other thing is that the Ana here trying to hit a button after this while running 3, she's -6. So again, this shows that the Ana player is very unfamiliar with the matchup because she's hitting a button here when Lydia has so many frame traps that beat anything that Ana could press. But again, I'm going to point out here, as the theme of today's video with Lydia's execution, forward, forward 2. Because again, at +6, forward, forward 2, beat sidestep with 1 frame link, 2 frame link at +6. And on top of that, because this is counter hit, it would give you heat engager, and with the wall being right there, that would be huge. So you basically, like with a counter hit here, if you do forward, forward 2, you basically just win the game at that point. So, really important thing to learn. Also, if you're going to do red poppy, make sure that you're hit confirming it. If you are hit confirming it by charging the second hit, you let go of the button when you see the first hit. That hit confirms it.
He's just making cuss in mid.
Again, core circle forward 4 there. And again, you know, I just, again, want to point out, I mean, core circle forward 4 there with the full charge 1 makes more sense. But if the opponent tries sidestepping there because the wall's here, while running 1 would be able to realign with that, right?
Double check everything.
So there's the heat smash, but she did the 3, so she was in the air. Yeah, heat smash can be a good option because it beats the 1, of course, especially at 13 frames. Nice down back 3, back 1 in the heat dash. And again, gotta think about the stacks a little bit more, right? But we win the round, so it doesn't end up mattering. But yeah, just in general, I suppose in this situation, there's definitely a better argument to be made about just like doing back 1 heat dash and then trying to close out the round. But you also have to think about if you lose, you know, you have to think about the possibility. Well, if you lose and you're only at 1 stack in final round, that's going to be a lot harder.
In the middle of it.
But yeah,
a lot of gray here as well.
ends up working out. He gets game 2. Much better showing. The best stage for Lydia as well. But yeah, I mean, he's playing Lydia extremely well. All right, let's skip ahead here. And he switched over to Zafina. All right.
The typical crazy that we see where it comes to.
I think that Zafina is a better matchup for Lydia than Ana is because Zafina can't sidestep Horse 2 and she can't parry Heaven and Earth 2 after Horse 2 hit. She's one of like 6 characters in the game who can't. That was a very nice round stop down back 3. Tries to power crush, gets hit by the back 1 +2. More plus frames to deal with, goes for the 2, and again, like that 2, you cannot sidestep that right with Zafina. Zafina is the only female character in the game that cannot sidestep Horse 2 after forward 4 to unblock. The other characters that can are all males. It's really weird. So we're going for that down back 3, tries going into Horse here to try setting up for that Horse 4 or the Horse 1 to be able to get stack number 2. Good interrupt though from the Zafina. And again, going for that. Now, that's not going to kill because of the scaling. So this is a situation where if it was me personally, what I would do here, I would do core circle forward 4, Horse 1, and then I would do Wolf 1. That puts you in the Heaven and Earth at +10. That's going to bring her health down to about here. So it's about the same as you get off the heat dash combo because of the wall. But importantly, it puts you at stack number 2. And Zafina's health is going to be so low that 1 mix is going to kill anyway in the same way that it would at the wall. And because you're +6, there's not going to be much of a difference in the options that you have. Now, the main difference is that if the Zafina attempts to power crush, which of course is very sensible because she's in heat, then that's you're going to lose if you do forward 2 like any of the mids. So it's a little bit more in Zafina's favor to be able to beat that situation out. But if you do down back 3 or something, then you win there. You can also just try baiting it out, of course, too. So that's why I would do that personally. And I don't even know if Farzeen knows about that sequence. But I think it's just important in this situation that you recognize you're in such a commanding position that you allow it to snowball by getting that second stack while you're here. Because it's basically the same situation regardless because of the combo, the scaling, the wall, etc., etc. So in my opinion, I think that was a mistake. That's just something to think about. But ends up winning the round regardless of 1 stack. That's still good. I just think it could have been better. Still going for the down forward 1. Nice sidestep 3-2. That was so good. Going here. Doing that. Bop, bop, bop. Nice. Wow, running 1. Oh, doesn't go in. See, again, this is another thing as well. Oh, and the heat smash whiff. She's hitting the wall. You could have got 3 stacks here. And I keep hopping on this again. This is the theme of the video. This is, I think, is the teaching moment. It's not here with the hop kick in the heaven earth or anything, but it's here after this wall splat, because he immediately cancels the while running one, but you can hit confirm while running one into heaven and earth. And again, it's that thing I talked about before. If you do forward 4-2 into horse, if you hold back before the forward 4-2 comes out, you can block confirm by holding back, or you can hit confirm by letting go of back. It's the same with while running one. So you can while running one hold back, and then if it hits, you can hit confirm by letting go of back and then going in heaven and earth. I'm assuming Farzeen didn't do that because you really do want to get that second stack, especially with the wall being here with the heat and everything else.
Oh my goodness, the cancel, the follow.
Oh no, sorry, I'm an idiot. He did go in the heaven and earth. I'm so silly. I don't know why. I don't know why I just thought that he didn't cancel the heaven and earth.
Oh my goodness, the cancel, the follow-up.
Still has a tiny bit of heat left. You know, he's looking.
Editor, cut that out. Cut that out. I clearly am not capable of being able to see anything. So while running one, heaven and earth cancel, red poppy, and then that just whiffs. And it's the right, like, again, it's the right option to try getting the 3 stacks. But again, what I would do here for Oki is I would do, oh my god, this new YouTube layout is so shit. I would go into cat and then go into heaven and earth from cat or do cat 4. Like that's what I would do here to guarantee getting the 3rd stack. So you see here, we do this, sidestep, and then if we manually go in the cat, then we can cat 4 them on the ground, or we can just go in the heaven and earth, threaten with that, and then if they wake up, we can do 2. If they stay on the ground, we can do 1, etc., etc. The heat smash, though, is still the right idea because we're trying to keep that wall. Again, it's just a difference in play styles. It's nothing that he's necessarily doing wrong. This is just an example of why I would do that. Good God, help us all. Forward 4-2. Ends up hitting the 2 again. Trying to do, what did the Zafina even try doing here? Did she try doing... Was that heat smash and it just didn't use the heat? I'm not sure. It was, yeah. And yeah, heat smash is really strong there because if she does the 1, obviously it beats it. It beats like almost all of the options that Lydia can do there.
Oh, this match is so good.
Just a really good option. That was a great down back 3 going here. And yeah, baited it out by not doing the thing out of Wolf. That was beautiful. It was beautiful. That was really well done. Plus frames goes to the down forward 1. And again, you can link forward 4-2 there. And then another thing as well. Actually, can Zafina step that? I don't know. She might not be able to. But again, we go for forward 4-2, counter hit into the 2, heaven and earth. Goes for that. Again, Zafina is one of the few characters in the game that cannot punish that. Pixel left, toe kick, dashes in for the 1. Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, like, what do you want me to say? You know, Farzeen's Lydia is so much better than it was the first time that I saw him play. He has clearly learned a lot with the character. He's improved a ton, and he plays Lydia very well. This is good to watch. He has a different play style than me, for sure. He doesn't focus as much on the stack system, on heaven and earth, but the way he plays neutral, the way he plays the mind game, and the way he interacts with the opponent is really, really strong. And it's cool to see someone as strong as Farzeen really trying to learn all of these aspects with Lydia. Again, there's a few things in there that I think would help him a lot more to learn it, like the forward 4-2 links, the stack management and stuff. But I think he's definitely trying with the stack management, and he's getting there. It's just there are a couple more optimal ways that I think he could get those stacks. So the main thing is just learning that forward 4-2 link, and if he can do that, oh my god, man, his Lydia is gonna be unbeatable. It's so good. All right, here we go. Lydia versus Azucena. Immediately getting the dash jab combos here at the wall. Back 1, nice into the wall here. Do. I love to see that my dash jab combos the pros are using. That's so sick.
Heaven and Earth
Goes for the Heaven Earth 1+2. Again, that core circle forward 4. Tries to do the from crouch mix. Oh my god, man. That's so sick. Yeah, nice going for the 1. That was such a good round. Oh my god. Dude, I love seeing these players do stuff that I came up with. Even if they didn't learn it from me, it's just the fact that I came up with this stuff myself, whether it's combos or the from crouch mix or anything, is so cool. At the wall now, ends up whiffing, tries going for the punish with down jab, doesn't quite get it. Again, you have to make that decision if you're going to go in the heat right now or not. Just trying to get it out with like the heat engager, but it's not quite working. Forward 4-2 while running forward 4-2. Okay. Trying to jab out, trying to keep that wall. What a low parry! At the wall now. Wall conversion obviously could have been better, but it would have added a couple more damage. And again, that's where wow, dude. Down 1+2, yes! From crouch mix, threatened with eat smash, cancel the down back 3. Dude, he's actually playing Lydia like I play Lydia. It's crazy. Oh my god. I would have done that. That's insane. Yeah, and I just want to point out too that like here, like this is really, again, to me, this is grand finals as well. A sign that he doesn't know the matchup, because Power Crush loses to literally everything here. With Azucena, you either have to backswing blow or you have to parry. Power Crush beats exactly 0 options Lydia has in cat stance after 2-2. Oh my god, yeah.
You need to do it, and that's what Farzeen.
That was the worst possible option you could have done. Hop kick actually would have been better because you would have got floated off of 1.
You might as well go for it, but
or you would have got hit airborne off of 1. And now again, Farzeen here at 3 stacks goes for the 2. This is going to kill.
Farzeen starting to run away with it here, looking to close.
Yeah, that's not the right combo. You could have killed if you yeah, so the combo here, I'm gonna analyze a little bit. Nice, he got the round. Like, he just, between the last game and this game, he played this so much better. But the combo here to kill is you do 2 heat dash while running 2-2 jab, back 3-4 core circle forward 1+2, and then forward 4-3, and then Blossom would have killed. I think the wall is close enough to be able to do that. If not, while running 2-2 jab, break the floor, and then after the floor break, then do the screw and then convert to the wall. That would have killed. There was a kill combo here. Also, after that, after you do the 3 here, you can jab and then you can do like 1-2-3, convert to the wall again, forward 4-3, and then Blossom. And that would have killed as well. So we got the wrong combo here, but that's fine. Switching back to Ana now. Game number 2. This is down forward 1. Minus 14. Great punish there once again. While running 3 into the red poppy. And that's another reason why I keep talking about that forward 4-2, because after the while running 3, if we forward 4-2 and she hits a button there, then boom, you know, you get that counter hit. That's why it's really important to learn those links. Nice punch parry again. And again, I would manually, in that situation, go into horse. And then, nice duck. Hop kick in the Heaven Earth. And then I would go in the Heaven Earth to make sure I get my stack and keep up that pressure. That was a nice duck on wake up. Oh my god, that was disgusting. Yeah, nice. Yeah, and going in the wolf there is really smart, because not only does it give you that low instead of the 1+2, which is launch punishable, but it also delays the timing. And again, the Ana player here, important to know for Lydia counterplay, for any of you watching that want to know, you can sidestep this. And with her fully charging it, like Farzeen, when he's been doing the 1, every time he's been fully charging it, you can just like hop kick her out of this. Yeah, like this is not real. And then again, doing the political storm, which I don't personally agree with, but there's definitely more rhyme or reason to it now than when he was first playing Lydia. Excellent sidestep on that. What a read. Jab, jab. Dude, he's doing my dash jab combos. Oh, that's so sick. Oh, not quite at the wall. He's doing my fucking dash jab combos. Who told him that? I came up with that. The Lydia Discord called me a fool. I don't actually know if they did. I was told that some people did. Yeah, and then well-timed Power Crush as well. The way he's utilizing that Power Crush is really smart. Yep, 2-4, just going for the 11-frame safe poke. Good stuff. Nice block on that. Oh, down 4-2 out of range. I would have back one instead of down forward 2 personally. Yeah, and then the core circle forward 4 again. He's just been falling for that. He's just been falling for that all day. And then baiting out the punch parry, hitting the heat smash. Dude, yeah. I mean, and this is like, this is a testament to how much like knowing and not knowing the matchup can matter, because what's his name? Qasim? I hope I said that right. Just does not know the matchup at all. No offense to him, you know? Lydia's an annoying character to play against. You have to approach the matchup with her differently than any other character. It's like playing against Yoshi or Xiao Yu or Hua Rong. But if you don't know the matchup, I mean, there are a lot of clear gaps in Farzeen's pressure that he could be taking advantage of, and he is eating shit for no reason. Even in Grand Final here of a major TWT tournament, and he really is losing to Knowledge Check. But in Farzeen's case, it's very clear that the reason he's using the options he's using is because Qasim doesn't know the matchup. And that's another thing with Lydia too that's really important to point out. You have to play her differently depending on how well the opponent knows the matchup. You cannot just play Lydia in a way, the same way you would play against someone who knows the matchup as someone that doesn't know the matchup. That's a really good way to just lose against someone who doesn't know what they're doing for no reason.
Yeah, very good stuff by Qasim, still holding on, still fighting.
Because everything with Lydia revolves around interaction. It revolves around mind games. And if the opponent isn't taking the bait off of like forward 4-2 into Wolf, then you just gotta keep doing the option that's working until it doesn't. And then that opens up like the layer 2, the layer 3. But again, no offense to Qasim, but in his case, he really is not beating a lot of the layer 1 stuff. And because of that, Farzeen's doing a good job of just doing what works. Again, here what I would do, and I'm pointing this out because this is a new situation, because of the health difference and all, and like what's going on with this and the combo and the distance. What I would do here is I would do this combo, and then from here, I would manually go into Cat, go Heaven and Earth to get the stack, blow my heat, and then just try winning off of this because he barely has any health left. And I know that I can win this in neutral because he just is doing stuff like that.
Again, he wants to end it here.
Yeah, he doesn't want to have to deal with anyone.
There we go with that. Again, the back 1+2 while running 1+2. That's a lot of damage very quickly. Already on half health. Ends up getting the whiff while running 3. Dash into down back 3. And again, like if he's not going, if he doesn't know how to deal with that wolf transition, if he's not going to try launching him out of it, then you gotta just keep doing it because that's where your low is. That's what you're working towards when you play these mind games. And you can see a clear difference with Farzeen between the first game he played, where he was trying to utilize the 1 and the 3 in tandem with each other to play this mind game to goad the opponent into attacking. And now it's just like, I'm just gonna keep going into Wolf and keep doing Wolf 4 because you don't know how to deal with it. You don't know the matchup well enough. You have no idea what's going on.
I feel like that's an opportunity that Farzeen needs to start to take advantage of. He's been going
See, again, Wolf 4, right? If you're not going to block it, if you're not going to deal with it, then I'm just going to keep doing the layer 1 stuff. That was a great political storm final round now. And like this is looking like a complete blowout. It's looking like a complete blowout.
Especially against the stack competition.
Yeah,
here.
night and day with the previous match. And that's why I'm saying what Farzeen's doing here is intentional. It's not just like he's only doing the layer 1 stuff because that's what he knows. He very clearly understands that this player does not know the matchup well enough to be able to deal with this, so he's just going to keep doing it. But I think that if he did know how to deal with it, with the way Farzeen's playing, he would be able to adjust how he's playing. Because he was playing that way before. He was playing in a way that was, I would play against someone who knows the matchup, but now he's playing against his opponent in a way where I would play if I knew they didn't know the matchup. And he did that extremely well. Extremely well. So, yeah, I mean, that's Farzeen's Lydia. And, like, there are a couple things to learn from this. One, it's important to keep learning, right? There's a very clear difference with Farzeen and his decision-making, the interaction, everything I said before between when he started playing Lydia and how he's playing Lydia now. It's completely different. But the other thing as well is that like even the top players, even a grand final at a major TWT event, there are still players that don't know the matchup. And if you understand Lydia in any way, or if you've been paying attention to what I'm saying, then that is something that I'm sure you could see, is that the opponent just had no idea what was going on. And if you have, Lydia's one of those characters where you have to know what's going on or you are just going to lose. And this kind of hops back to when people say that Lydia is like brain dead and no skill and all of this stuff. It's because those players lose to Lydias that play brain dead. And a lot of Lydias do play brain dead. They do, because it works, because a lot of people, even at the top level, just don't know the matchup very well. And so learn the Lydia matchup. You can probably learn the Lydia matchup and be better at this matchup than this player at a grand finals at a major TWT event. And that should be your motivation. Learn the matchup so that you're good at it. So if you come across a Lydia player like this, not only is the game going to be more enjoyable, but also you won't get eaten alive by and have to pay your tax in ranked or whatever. Lydias that play brain dead will be free. You'll be making it harder for the other Lydia players, no matter what level you're playing at, even at the pro level. Keep learning, everyone. Keep learning your characters. Keep learning the counterplay to characters. There's no end to learning in Tekken. And well done to Farzeen as well. Again, regardless of the matchup stuff that I'm talking about and the opponent not knowing it very well, he still played Lydia very well. There's a lot more clear intention behind how he's playing and how he's utilizing the different tools and stuff. I would really like to see Farzeen play against someone who is competent in the Lydia matchup in the future. Maybe that will be another video. People that say that Qasim was in the grand finals of a major tournament and lost to a Lydia don't know the matchup, because anyone that knows the matchup can look at that and go, this guy doesn't understand the matchup. The way that guy was playing is very similar to if you are playing against a if you had someone playing against a Xiao Yu and they were constantly jabbing into AOP, like high jab into Xiao Yu doing AOP. Like that is the level of the opponent not knowing the matchup that we were seeing here. That's how bad it was. Again, no offense, right? Like Lydia's a really difficult character to lab and to know how to play against. But I mean, at the same time, if you're gonna be a high level player, you have no excuse. You have to know the matchups if you're gonna be at a grand final at a TWT event. Like we can't just be saying here, oh yeah, but like yeah, he lost to Lydia knowledge checks, but you know Lydia's a no one plays Lydia, so how is he expected to know? Bitch, he's in a grand finals of a major TWT event. That's why he's expected to know. You can't just give him the excuse that he doesn't know the matchup when he's gotten to a grand final of a TWT event. That's ridiculous. That's so stupid. The mental gymnastics is insane. They did top 64 today too, didn't they? Because if they did top 64, then yeah, they did. Yeah, he didn't have time to prepare then for Lydia, so never mind. I was going to say he had time to be able to prepare for Lydia because he knew Farzeen was in top 8. That's actually not true, because they played top 64 today as well, which is really stupid in my opinion, but it is what it is. He knew Farzeen was in the tournament. That's true, but you can't prepare. Like, if you're in top 64, you can't prepare for every character in the game. You just can't. So you have to prepare for the people that are going to be in your immediate bracket to get to top 8. And Lydia wasn't one of those characters, so it's completely understandable why he wouldn't prepare in that case. But what I will say is that if you are going into a top 8 or a top 16, or for most of you are going in the pools, and you know that there's going to be a player there that plays a character you don't know very well, like Xiao Yu, for instance, you have to spend the day before preparing for that character. I don't know if it would have been different if Qasim had a day to be able to prepare for Lydia. I'm sure it would have been. You have to spend time preparing. Every pro player in every esport does it. They all do. No matter what the esport is, no matter what the game is, if you know that you're going to have to prepare for a matchup, if you know you're going against someone, you study it. And I'm sure Kasim is no different. If he had time to prepare for Lydia in top 8, would he have done better? I'm sure he would have. And so part of that, with him not knowing the matchup so much, is because he didn't have that time. And I think that really sucks, and it's really stupid that the tournament was structured in that way, that he did not have that opportunity. So that's another lesson to learn as well, and I'll probably throw this in at the end of the video. If you do have that opportunity, if you are going to a tournament, whether it's a major tournament, a minor tournament, your locals, whatever, prepare for the players and prepare for the matchups. It's going to make your chances of success exponentially higher, especially if you're in pools, because most people aren't going to spend the time preparing it when they're in pools, especially if they're higher seed, and that is going to give you an edge over the other players that you're playing in pools. So do that. It's very important.